Namaste yogis. Today what I thought I'd talk about, because there's kind of a few different schools of thought on this, and I've just had quite a lengthy discussion with a friend of mine who's a teacher from our studio, and most of our classes where we teach here over at Yoga Life, we're predominantly a hot studio. Not everything we do is heated, but we're predominantly a heated studio. Friends of mine who are yogis, there's some who don't, well, not that they don't agree with that, but yeah, don't align with that really. And they think it's taking in their opinion, it takes itself out of what traditional yoga is. So I wanted to explain the reason why in which we use heat, and the real reason why your heat should be used in practice, or can be used in practice. So first of all, lots of studios say that they use the heat for physical reasons. So because your muscles are warmer, and this is true, they become more malleable. If you think of plasticine, you rub your hands together, plasticine can stretch a lot further. And because your physical body's more malleable, they can take you into deeper postures, deeper asanas. So that's a reason other studios use, and that definitely does happen. Another reason that's kind of touted is that when you sweat, you detox. Now that isn't true. When you sweat, you just release water. You don't release toxins from your skin as such, really. You can detox because heating the body up will hopefully stimulate your metabolic rate, and in turn stimulates your digestive system. It can stimulate how your organs begin to work, and in that sense you begin to process things faster. And then couple that with the practice of yoga, it can have a detoxifying process. However, when I was putting the studio together, that wasn't the reason why I wanted it to be hot, and I definitely didn't want a hot studio because it was the in thing and it was cool. And at the time I was teaching in heated studios all over the place, all over kind of the northwest and stuff, and lots of these things were kind of touted about. But really, the reason why we began to align with heating the studio is that your yoga practice is a way of challenging the body, and it's a way of taking the body to areas of challenge and even slight stress. So when you're in a certain posture, it's tough. It's not easy. Do you know what I mean? Being in a warrior, your shoulders begin to burn. Even practicing pranayama, it becomes sometimes so challenging to the body that the body goes in a slight area of stress. And then the whole real practice of yoga is that we put you into a moment of stress or challenge, but then we give you the tools to not just manage that stress, but to release yourself from it. So while I'm in Warrior 2, I can use Drishti, my yogic gaze, to become so focused on a moment that I experience even moments of oneness and samadhi. So actually, what happens is, instead of my nervous system getting overwrought and overwhelmed and becoming more and more stressed and more tense and in more and more pain and creating that stress within the body, what we actually do is within yoga, we're here and I'm still in that same moment, but I use the faculties of my mind, I use the presence within the practice, I use Drishti or a breathing technique, and then I take hold of my nervous system and I begin to turn it down. I ignite my parasympathetic nervous system. And then my body begins to negate that stress, and it gets used to managing stress, dealing with stress, and like I say, negating stress, getting rid of it. And then the whole practice then, hopefully, the idea is that it's transported into your everyday life. Stress to your body is just stress. It's a chemical reaction. So stress from your emotions, stress from your food, stress from not moving, or stress from your yoga practice is all the same to the body. Your adrenal gland kicks in, it begins to spurt out hormones into the body, neuroepinephrine and adrenaline. And that, in small amounts, is good, but in large amounts is destructive. And obviously we know in the West we produce lots of stress hormone. But with your yoga practice, what it eventually does, it gets you to do, is when that mechanism starts and you become stressed, you're actually less reactive to it and you can manage that stress better. So outside of the yoga studio, when the bills come in and when I get stressed at work or when I'm emotionally stressed, I can use the elements of my yogic practice to deal and manage with that stress. I don't need to go into a posture to deal with it, but I have those elements of being able to connect to breath, being able to manage it, and that sensation when I feel the stress beginning to draw on, I have something to deal with that. And that's the same reason why we use the heat. The heat, the minute you sweat, puts you in a very slight environment of stress. Sweat is a stress response. So we put you in a posture, Then we turn the heat up just a little bit. We don't go to them 40-degree heats and stuff. We don't do any of that. But we heat it so we begin to sweat. Yes, I can go deeper into the postures, but really what I want you to do is experience that moment of challenge. And then in that moment of challenge, I don't give you more stress and harder things to do and push you to breaking point. We go, right, do this. Gaze there, stare in that specific moment. Use this breathing technique. Do this. Take hold of your nervous system. Take action on your life and hold of your life. Negate that stress. Turn on your parasympathetic nervous system and let the body bathe in that oneness, samadhi, that opportunity to let go. And like we say, with practice, you'll be able to transport that into your everyday life. So, those of you out there kind of resistant to a hot practice, I understand why, and I completely get it. However, look at it from the point of view is that it's creating a greater challenge within your postures. That's really what it's meant to do. Don't worry about that it stretches you more, because flexibility isn't really anything to do with yoga. Your yoga will improve your flexibility, but being flexible doesn't mean that you're practicing yoga. However, putting your body in areas of challenge and stress, learning to deal with that stress and then being able to transport that into your everyday life, that most definitely is yoga. So for that reason, come and join us. if you're not around our studio, just go and try another yoga studio. Speak to the teachers, speak to the owners, see what their intention was and the reasoning behind why they set it up, and hopefully it aligns with something that's definitely part of the yogic philosophy. Hope that's helped, and I hope I shall see you soon in our class. Namaste.